Okay, so I'm back and now I'm on part three. And when I was a child, like I mentioned in my last video, I did have an action figure directed towards boys, but that's like the G.I. Joe, but he was white. But this is kind of stuff I would prefer if I was a child. Because knowing 18-inch dolls are popping now more than ever, and Walmart got their own brand. And since Walmart started their own brand, over the years, they got more and more diverse. And last year, when they came out with the two boys, I got the other boy in the closet. This one caught my eye the most because he has I have a full nose, full of lips, and wider eyes. This is amazing that Walmart come out with something like this, and people, everybody been stay bashing Walmart, but I don't care. I'm still gonna go there anyway. And Walmart close to my house is walking distance, so I'm doing just fine going there. And the prices are reasonable on everything. And I bought all these dolls from Walmart. Wait a minute, I bought my first one of these. I bought at Walmart. I bought this one at Toys R Us, but yeah. Anyway, for this to come, my self-esteem would have been very higher if I was like 7 and this came out then when I was playing with this type of stuff along with the other toys average 7-year-old boys play with. But like I mentioned, I'm trying to be a toy designer, and this is something I've been wanting to do since I was 15. And why I didn't stick to that in high school? I could have been somewhere better. I'm doing good now with my book and all that. But that's something I want to do then. But like I said, it took me years to figure out what I wanted to do with that. Because I wrote the book in 2013 and just publishing it, I could have been published it. I had been published it online, no sales, but I should have been came to these solutions in 2013. And I'm glad that I can walk in a toy store and see this, and other African American action figures and male toys. I mean, toys that resembles an African American male, because then we didn't have that many options then. And I had a few white action figures slash boy dolls and all that stuff. I didn't bond well with those like I did my African American slash ones with my skin complexion. I bonded well with those, and even though I broke those being reckless at 7, I didn't mean to. It was just the old Ken dolls' heads came off easily. This one don't come off as easily. Once you pop the old one head off, it's gone. It's damaged for good. I know you can repair that, but it's hard to repair the old ones. And this, you can just blow dry this and just gently remove it. But I tried it before. But as for these new African American 18-inch dolls, I'm very pleased with how companies making them now. Cause there's one company called Naturally Perfect. I want one of those just to support that business. But the problem is they keep have a hard time producing this many to keep them in stock, and I can't rely on that. But which is why I'm not worried about those at the moment. But I do own a Pretty Girls doll that Stacey McBride Irby designed. She was an old Barbie designer. She was one of my favorite. She's my second favorite Barbie designer. Carlisle New Era is the third, and we all know my number one favorite Barbie designer of all time is Miss Kitty Black Perkins, who came out with the Shunny line. But as for Jay Sean, who is a My Life Boy doll that's under 30 bucks and way cheaper than American Girl's Logan, his quality is not the same as American Girl True, but he can last just as long because he's sturdy and durable. And even though his body is squishy, he's not real squishy like some of these new American Girl dolls. But I think I'm done with the AG. I may buy one I might buy one more to customize into a boy to look like myself, but I don't know when that's gonna happen. I've been so upset with that company for the past few months, and it's looks like they're sticking with their irrational business decisions. I'm sorry if I'm not talking right. That is destroying that company. But this is gonna be a third. It may be a 4-part, but I'm proud to say that I can walk into a toy store and see more than one African American male action doll slash action figure slash whatever they call them available, and not just stick to one like I did when I was a child. Cause I had more. I had a handful of Stevens, but they all looked the same. But that didn't bother me because as long as they didn't have blonde hair and blue eyes, my action figures I only had one like that. The quality wasn't the worst, but it didn't last. It didn't click well with me then. But I'm through with this part. But for us African Americans, we gotta start buying our sons these kind of toys. So I don't call these dolls. I just call them whatever I want to, cause action figures are dolls too, in my eyes. But anyway, we need to start buying our sons more ethically correct action figures. They got them, but if we see them, we just gotta think about how we gonna get them in time for their birthdays and all that. Until then, you just gotta think about it, cause I really like the direction toy companies going in now, cause we don't have to suffer like we did. And I know they suffered a lot in my parents' time, because most companies only produced the white versions of their dolls and action figures. It was like that until the 80s and 90s. They was harder to find in the 70s, even though they were available. But now they're easier to find because I see them at toy stores every day, and I'm thankful I don't have to deal with that. Looking at that now, if you see my last video, you'll notice exactly how I felt in the action figure line. And I'm going to end this now because it's getting long. But stay tuned for my next video. As always, thanks for watching.